Hello, everybody. I have a very exciting day today with a rock star realtor out of our group at Pemberley Realty. Lexi Armstrong is here, and I cannot wait for you guys to get to know her and know all about her because she is so very smart and really a privilege to work with. So, welcome, Lexi.
Hi, Roxanne. Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic. So happy to be here and a part of your team.
Really glad that you're here and super excited for the audience to get to know you. So tell us a little bit about Lexi. Who is Lexi? What should the audience know about you?
Hmm. What are some interesting things about Lexi? I am a Navy veteran. I joined the United States Navy right out of high school. I did 4 years, and I was so lucky to be stationed here in San Diego, all four. Um,
All 4 years in San
All
Diego.
four. Yeah, minus the training and boot camp. Yep, I got stationed here in San Diego and got to stay. I was on a ship though, so I got to deploy and do a little bit of world traveling. So that was really exciting. But yeah, I did my four and I got out in 2015. I decided to stay here in San Diego. I mean, like, who doesn't? I feel like most of us veterans do. Um,
What
when
took
I
you to the Navy?
Why did I join the Navy?
Yeah.
I have a lot of family members that are in the military. I have an uncle that's in the Navy, a cousin that's in the Army National Guard. My dad was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Army. So um, lots of uh, lots of family members in the military. I'm the first female in my family to join the military, so that's really exciting and something I'm incredibly proud of. But yeah, just runs deep in our blood.
That's awesome. That is really amazing. My
Mhm.
experience with military group, because I've my entire real estate career has been in San Diego, and there is something special about the military folks. They are super trained, very disciplined, and with discipline comes success in
Uh-huh.
whatever you do, I think. So.
Yes, I attribute a lot of my success to my military service. Just as you were saying, it gave me the structure and discipline to, as you know, I work full time and I'm also do real estate full time, and I am a master of time and master manager of myself because the military, integrated that discipline in me.
So tell us more. Tell us more. You stayed in San Diego, and family didn't want you back home.
Oh yes, they still ask me to this day if I'm ever coming back. Um, but yeah, no, there were just a great amount of opportunities that opened up to me here in San Diego. I went to school and got my job out here. I started working in DoD contracting, and that kept me close to the military, which I love. I have a lot of pride in my service, and in even through the civilian sector, I'm able to give back and stay connected to that community. And then yeah, about 4 years after that, 3 years actually, I started well, let me say that I stayed in San Diego, and then all of my friends that had gone elsewhere, because in the military, they PCS every 4 to 5 years. They change permanent duty stations. They were coming back to San Diego, and they were calling me and texting me like, "Hey, you're still there, right?" And everyone's in leadership positions in the military, making a little bit more money, bringing in a decent amount of BAH, and now they can afford homes in San Diego. So when they're coming back, they're calling me, asking me like about neighborhoods, if I know a realtor that I could, recommend, and I did that. I would go like help them look at houses, virtually, or I would find a local realtor to connect them with. And then something clicked in my head and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I could be doing this. I could be coordinating the transactions and making money off of this. So I decided to get licensed in 2020 and have been loving the real estate game ever since.
That is amazing. So for the audience that don't know the lingo, explain to us what's PCS and what's BAH.
PCS is a permanent change of station. So, like I said, every 4 to 5 years, it really depends on your job and your contract, how often you change duty stations. And that's a regular occurrence. If you stay in the military, you will move every 4 to 5 years. And then BAH is a basic allowance for housing. It's a monthly stipend that the military gives you every month to pay for housing wherever you're stationed. And that's on top of your monthly income.
The salary that you receive.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so you've been 4 years into the business. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's the most exciting thing that has happened in the real estate business in the 4 years that you've been practicing real estate?
Oh man. My favorite part is when my clients become my friends. It's always really exciting to help new buyers get into their home, their first homes, or helping them upgrade to a bigger family home. But honestly, the most exciting part is like building the relationship with that client. I've been so blessed in my career to have so many great clients who continue to advocate for me, who continue to come back and work for me. And that's extremely rewarding and probably the most exciting.
Hmm. So give us one example of a story, transaction that you had that's fun to share.
Hmm. How do I pick? I'll do my most recent. I have a buyer under contract right now, and it's actually my best friend's sister. Her name is Emily. Her husband is Riley. She's active duty Navy, and her husband just got out of the military service as well. And they just moved back to San Diego. They're from here. So I actually worked with Cameron, who is Emily's sister, at Victoria's Secret back in like 2017. So I took a part-time job right after I got out of the Navy, while I was going to school full time, and that's how I met Cameron. And we've been friends all this time. And as soon as her sister decided to come back to San Diego, or the Navy gave her this incredible opportunity to be stationed back here. She called me and she's like, "You're going to help my sister, right?" And I was like, "Is there even a question?" But it was really funny because I've never met her husband. And, Riley's like grilling me on the phone. He's like, "Well, the only thing that we need is a realtor." And I was like, "What do you mean? You have a realtor? It's me. Was there any doubt? Your sister loves me. Your parents love me. Like, you're not going anywhere else."
And what was the answer to that?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously they're working with me and I've got them under contract already, and they're incredibly happy with me.
That is very, very good story. So given that you are being so successful in real estate, what do you see yourself in, and is residential brokerage, residential real estate, your cup of tea?
So I recently started dabbling in commercial, as I started this new thing of networking back in January, and have met so many entrepreneurs that have a commercial real estate need, and that sparked my interest into that side of the industry. It's a completely different dragon, right? So I'm going to dabble in all things real estate and see what continues to call to me. But residential real estate is my calling at the moment, but I'm expanding. I want to do this for as long as humanly possible. So I'm really opening up my horizon by, you know, getting a mentor in commercial real estate and seeing where that takes me.
Tell us about tell us about your experience as a first-time buyer buying your own home.
Oh man, so my first experience wasn't that great. It was before I was even licensed. With I bought a house with my ex-husband in 2014, and I wasn't really involved in that process. He was border patrol, and he had a coworker that was an agent, and I never even saw the agent face to face. He was never present for showings. He wasn't present
How
for,
did you look at homes?
huh?
How did you look at homes?
Well, we ended up going with new construction.
Oh, I see.
So my ex-husband had viewed a couple of properties with him without me, but we quickly moved into new construction and decided to go that route. Like there's not much agent involvement there.
Mm.
But I mean, he didn't show up the day that we got keys either. And I have my own opinions about that, but that was my first experience. Also, I worked with a big bank. We got our mortgage through a big bank when we bought our first home, and that wasn't a good experience either for me. But um, my first experience buying a home as a single woman was incredible, but I was also my agent, so
Oh,
there's that.
you represented yourself.
I did. I represented myself. I bought a condo, a 2 bedroom, 2 bath in Normal Heights back in 2020. Yep,
Wow.
and I represented myself.
But now you're in a house. How did that go?
Yes. So I flipped the condo in Normal Heights. I made a decent amount of money. That was during the pandemic. So I took a 9 month hiatus from San Diego and real estate and moved up to Seattle to be near my sister, who was stationed in the Navy up there. I spent 9 months up there, and then I came back. I rented for a little bit, but was the moment that I decided that I was going to move back to San Diego, I started looking for a single family home. And yeah, I happened upon the house that I'm in now. It's a 2 bed, 2 bath, 1,200 square foot home, and sat on the market for 40 days, and I just watched the price drop. And the seller was really motivated to sell, so I got in there and um, I hit him with a pretty low ball offer, but I also told the agent that this was just a way to start a conversation with the seller. I'm obviously open to negotiation. Um, and then, yeah, again, I represented myself and secured my single family home.
So it's interesting that you say that because with my experience, that happens in San Diego and in San Diego market, but it doesn't happen all the time,
No, it doesn't.
right?
Uh-huh.
So have you had any experience with being on the reverse of that in a seller's market, basically?
What do you mean? Like representing a seller and it
Rep-
going under market, or?
Representing a seller or representing a buyer, but in a hot market where you have to compete in order to get into a house. So you can't, you're not going to see a whole lot of price reductions. You're going not going to see a long time for the for houses to sit on the market. You know, that's not a thing that happens. And have you had that experience? And in that type of environment, what do you suggest or advise your clients to do if they're on the buyer side? If they're on the buyer side,
Just be patient. So I actually did have this exact scenario with a client in March of last year. They came to me, they found me on Zillow. They came to me wanting a home in a very specific neighborhood with a budget that wasn't conducive with that neighborhood. And they had an agent, a couple agents prior to me tell them that, like, oh, you can't afford in that neighborhood. They're like, you don't even try. And then they found me through Zillow because I bought my home under market value in that neighborhood. And they're like, well, shoot, if she can do it for that buyer, then not knowing it was for myself, then she could do it for us. And so they came with me with those expectations. And I said, yeah, absolutely, it's difficult, but if you're willing to be patient, we can make it happen. And I flyered the neighborhood for them, sent mailers in the neighborhood. I went door knocking for them, really like advocating and like trying to find a property and a seller that might be willing to sell in that specific neighborhood. And as time went on, the buyers grew a little impatient, and they were like, okay, maybe it's not the time for us to enter the market in this neighborhood. We just want to enter the market in general. So when they came to that conclusion, we opened up our searches, and I actually got them in a house in La Mesa for under market value, doing what I do best and negotiating really hard and advocating for my client. I got them into a house that they absolutely love in La Mesa. Yeah.
That is a great story. Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing that.
You're
So,
welcome.
so can you tell us what areas do you serve?
All over San Diego County, all the
I
way down to Ivy, all the way up to Murrieta and Temecula.
So I love that you say that, because that shows that you are hungry for servicing your clients, and you are willing to go above and beyond if you're if you're going to one end of the county all the way to the other end of the county. And
If
so
they're willing to look from one end to the other, I'll be right there looking with them. Yep.
so why should somebody who is thinking of buying or selling choose Lexi?
Hmm. I feel like that's a really difficult question to answer about yourself, is it not?
I can answer it for you in 2 seconds.
Um, I'm extremely personable. I care considerably about my clients. It's not about the commission for me. It's more about like how satisfied they are. Um, I will advocate for them till the ends of the earth, and I am the strongest negotiator. I know I look sweet, but I can be quite the bulldog when it needs to be.
And you are a master of time. We established that, right?
Yes, yes.
You are one of the strongest in your rank. You're one of the smartest in your rank, which
Thank
also
you.
helps to be a strong agent and strong advocate for your clients. And
Absolutely.
tell us how savvy you are when it comes to contracts and being able to go through the written communication, because real estate is in writing.
Yes. I'm very well versed when it comes to contracts. I read all of the contracts. Every time that I write an offer, I'm reading through it because, as you know, our contracts change very often. And communication is the most important when working with clients. I would just say, like, in this industry in general, communicating with clients, communicating with real estate agents, your broker, vendors, contractors, like whoever it may be, um, communication is a necessity. And I would say that I'm a master at communication.
I totally agree.
Thank you.
Okay, but well, thank you so much for joining us and for giving a window into who Lexi and also introducing yourself to our audience. So, in the audience, if you are thinking of buying or selling anywhere in the San Diego County, Lexi here is a champion. And you can reach Lexi. That's her phone number. That's where you can reach her. Or if you prefer email, you can also email her. She is very, very active on social media. So you can also find her on Instagram. And also, she is, again, very active on Facebook as well. So you can find her there if that's your preferred social media channel. And Lexi, thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thank you, Roxanne.
yes, of course. And if you are watching this and you need to get a hold of me, there is my phone number and my email address. I also like to hang out on Instagram and on Facebook. And of course, you can reach us on our website at pemberleyrealty.com. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. And we always welcome your comments and questions. And if you are so kind to subscribe to our channel so that when we have these videos, you get a notification and you can join us. Thank you very much. And you guys make it a great day.